end out today's show, let's talk about some of the issue number ones, whether they be new series or whether they be one-shots that are coming out in the month of January. Obviously, we're in January right now, and get you guys ready for new comic book day this Wednesday. We already talked about it when I was talking about my pull list for the week, but the absolute Batman Arc M special, we got artist Josh Hickson coming on. So I really love Josh Hickson's stuff. He's the artist from The Deviant, that horror series from James Tynion IV. And yeah, we're just going to find out more about the Arc M kind of corner of the Absolute Universe. We know that Batman was captured and held in Arc M, and that's where kind of Bane is doing his thing. That's where all the evil stuff's going on in the Absolute Universe, or at least the Absolute Batman side of the equation here. So yeah, Arc M special, definitely going to be picking that up. That comes out on January 7th, new comic book day. Set the Tech in the chat says, have I read Redcoat? I fell off Redcoat, but I've been trying to keep up with all the Ghost Machine stuff. I think it's good, but not my favorite Ghost Machine title for sure. I'm definitely more of a Geiger kind of guy, you know. Yeah, keeping it pushing, scrolling down, and if I'm scrolling too fast, let me know. If there's something you guys want me to take a look at, definitely let me know. We have the Marvel DC Spider-Boy team up facsimile. Obviously, you know, getting ready for the Superman Spider-Man crossing over later this year. It's the what anniversary? 25th anniversary of this? I don't know when this one came out. 30 years. After almost 30 years, one of the all-time great DC Marvel crossover comic books is boldly represented in its original form, ads and all. Reprinting Spider-Boy Team Up number 1. So if you guys are into the Amalgam comics, might want to pick up this facsimile. That's pretty fun. Set the Tech says, is there a comic that I hated the most? The worst comic I've ever read in my life was a series called Soul Plumber. Soul Plumber was awful. It's like the worst series I've ever read. That's what I would say. That's anytime anyone comes up with like a questions like what comic did you hate the most? That's the first thing that comes to mind. That thing was really kind of weird. Scrolling down, it looks like Dynamite's putting out a Nightmare Before Christmas series, but obviously it's way after Christmas. You guys missed the boat on that one. Scrolling down. We have a new series out of Boom Studios called Alice Forever After from Dan Panosian. I think that Dan Panosian has a really cool art style. He's been writing a lot of stuff, but I don't know too much about what he's been writing. I think he did a series called Peter Pan Ever After. Maybe this is a sequel. Maybe it's called Alice Never After. I don't know. Anyways, keeping it rolling. We have a cyberpunk series coming out of Dark Horse. If you guys are into the cyberpunk world, the cyberpunk game, definitely check out that comic. What else do we got? Dungeons of Doom. This is from Marvel Comics on January 14th. Written by a whole bunch of people. We got Philip Kennedy Johnson, Benjamin Percy. This is the aftermath of One World Under Doom. I think that this is an anthology series or just a one-shot. An anthology series, potentially, which is pretty weird. There's a labyrinth behind. An explosion sends them all plummeting into a dungeon labyrinth that none of them knew was there. What begins as an arms race becomes a terrifying game of survival. Who, if any, will survive, and what horrors lie within the Dungeons of Doom? If you guys are into the Marvel Universe, you might want to pick this one up. I think, I could be wrong, does that tie into everything that's going on with Chip Zdarsky's Marvel Universe ending? I am not sure. Keeping it rolling. We have a new Knull series like I was talking about. Whoopee, if you guys are into the symbiotes and if you guys are symbiote heads and you're really excited about Knull, the King's returning, it says. Weakened from his last death, trapped by the enemy he never expected, the God of the Void waits in a cage once again. His captors think Knull has nothing to fight back with, but in Knull's hands, nothing is a weapon. And there's a greater weapon out there waiting for the King in Black to take it and take his revenge. Al Ewing doing some pretty fun stuff, but I will not be picking this up. Let me know if you're picking it up in the chat, if you're a big Knull head out there. People like Knull as a villain, but I'm just such not a symbiote guy that it just kind of makes my eyes roll. Logan, Black, White, and Blood. So another one of these black, white sort of art, books that they put out. So Marvel putting out another one focused on Logan, it seems. These are always pretty fun. You get some nice covers coming out of them as well, and usually a lot of different fun creators attached. So just scrolling through, we got Saladin Ahmed, Larry Hama, got some Adam Kuber on the art, got some Dave Watcher coming in to do some art. So yeah, man, Logan, Black, White, and Blood. If you are a fan of Marvel Rivals, Luna Snow is getting a series written by Greg Pak. Is that right? Yeah, Greg Pak is writing this one. Luna Snow on an all-new adventure as the world recovers from Doctor Doom's takeover. K-pop star and ice-wielding superhero Luna Snow hits her lowest low yet. So she takes her music into her own hands and hits the road. So yeah, man, if you're into Marvel Rivals and you're into the Luna Snow character, I thought she was pretty fun to play. But yeah, if you're into reading a series all about her, wasn't this a character that was designed like a brand new character for Marvel Rivals? So is this her first comic appearance, or is this like her first series probably, right? So I don't know too much about Luna Snow. We got some Mega Man stuff coming out if you're into that. A lot of game tie-ins I'm seeing with South at Midnight. That was an Xbox game earlier in the year. We got some Tomb Raider stuff as well. We were talking about the Black, White, and Blood for Logan. We also have a Wonder Woman Black and Gold 2026 special. Looks like it's written by Tom King, but you also have you got Cliff Chang doing the art for the cover. That's pretty neat. Of course, you have Steve Orlando, Alyssa Wong coming in. You get some Jordi Belair stuff. Jordi Belair writing. That's pretty cool. You don't really see Jordi Belair. Usually a colorist, right? I think Jordi wrote I think Jordi Belair wrote an issue of Exquisite Corpses, or like helped out on it, I think. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I always like those like one shots. They're pretty fun. Speaking of one shots, we got Archie's Valentine Spectacular. There's a lot of cool Archie stuff coming out. There's like a new slate of Archie series that they're going to be, I think they're teaming up with Oni Press, I think. And they got a lot of cool creative teams attached to those. But I think I'm waiting for that wave to try out Archie. I'm waiting for that. Definitely not the time with this Valentine special. Scrolling down. What else we got? We got a DCKO tie-in, Galactic Slam. You know, I had someone on my comments. They were trying to argue with me, talking about how the like DC AEW stuff wasn't part of the DCKO, and I'm like, dude, I literally pretty sure it is. Isn't this like AEW people, or no? Is that not what this is? Brings the reinforcements. Kyle Rayner brings the cosmic reinforcements as the DCKO tournament rages on Earth. The cosmos holds its collective breath as the heroes of our planet fight for the survival of the very universe. But the cavalry is on the horizon. Kyle Rayner, in a bid to provide cover for his fellow Green Lanterns, has found himself pummeled across the galaxy and into the ring of a wrestling federation. Oh no, oh dear heavens no, is Omega Bam Man about to enter the DCKO fray? Oh my god, an entire cavalcade of brawlers right behind them. Are there tables? Somebody get the tables. So yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments, is this the AEW crossover that they've been talking about, or is this something completely different? It reads like it is, and then also the cover. But I'm not a wrestling guy. I don't watch WWE or AEW, so I wouldn't know. But yeah. Set the Text says, what has been my favorite year one of Marvel or DC? Favorite year one comic of Marvel or DC? You know, I really enjoyed Batman and Robin year one. That's probably my favorite all-time year one story from Mark Waid and Chris Samney. That's some excellent stuff. Derek Seaborn saying, I'm looking forward to Galactic Slam. Yeah, dude, let me know. Is this Galactic Slam the AEW crossover, or is it something different? I have no idea. Anyways, let's keep it going. Psylocke's getting a series, Psylocke and Ninja. This is from Tim Seeley and Nico Leon. That's cool. That's coming out January 21st. We got a Rogue series, a Rogue little series from Erica Schultz and Luigi Zagaria, also on January 21st. So yeah, man, this is what I was talking about. If you guys are into the X-Men, there are a ton of X-Men series always coming out. So yeah, but if you're not reading X-Men like me, I'm not going to pick up Psylocke. I'm not going to pick up Rogue, man. Next up, Mighty Morphin I'm not even gonna read that. That I thought that was a Dynamite comic, but I think it's like a smaller indie pub. Bug Wars, the Spider Witch special. All right, so I want to mention this one. This is from writer Jason Aaron and Mohamed Asrar. It's a continuation of the Bug Wars, the excellent series from last year. This one is a little one-shot focused on its extra length special as well. This focuses on the kind of Spider Witch sect, the Spider Witch kind of clan in the Bug Wars yard. And they're one of the most fascinating, kind of interesting groups in the series. I'm really glad Jason Aaron's given us a extra length behind the scenes look at this Bug Wars group. And we got some cool covers as well. I think that no Peach Momoko. It's a Tula Latte, which is cool. Spider Witch, that's gonna be fun. Another DCKO tie-in, the DCKO The Kids Are All Fight special. So we got John Kent, always wanted to be a Titan when he grew up, but now that he's working alongside them in the effort to evacuate Earth, he didn't think he'd be stuck babysitting young sidekicks. When the kids sneak off to enter the fray and stop Granny Goodness, John will have to show these young heroes the ropes so they can save the day and prove there's no age requirement to being a superhero. And you won't want to miss the shocking finale, written by Jeremy Adams with art from Travis Mercer. January 28th, DCKO The Kids Are All Fight special. As we see there, Cassandra Cain on the cover. That's pretty cool. Not too sure about this one. Probably going to be skipping out on it. Like I was saying, man, I don't pick up all the DCKO tie-ins. I only pick up the ones that are part of series I was already picking up. I might pick up the odd DCKO tie, like Night Fight I'm picking up, right? But yeah, probably skip it out on that one. There's only two more guys we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about DC's Supergirl Next Door. This is a brand new, Supergirl series. Obviously trying to get ready for the movie and stuff like that. But this is going to be a giant... It looks like it's a one-shot. Oh, it's for Valentine's Day. Okay, cool. Place it on the shelf next to all the books you've loved before. Nathan Fairbairn. A lot of different... Probably packed full of a bunch of different stories. Probably like an anthology kind of thing, right? So most likely the getting ready for Valentine's Day and getting ready for the Supergirl movie as well. So if you're into anthologies, might want to pick this one up. Comes out on January 28th. And then, of course, the last comic we're talking about today for the new series that are starting in January, we got to mention Iron Man, dude. Iron Man #1 comes out on January 28th from Joshua Williamson, Carmen Carnero. And this is going to be a brand new Iron Man series, a brand new #1, brand new volume. The unapologetic Iron Man is a once-in-a-lifetime hero, but the beating heart behind the armor is a once-in-a-century genius. Years ago, Tony Stark was knocking on death's door, so he created the Iron Man armor to survive. What happens the next time death comes calling? What weapon does he create then? What if someone else creates it first? These questions have haunted Tony for years, a ticking time bomb inside of him waiting to explode. Femme Fatale Madame Mask has also asked these questions, and with the power of advanced idea mechanics behind her, she's ready to create the next great weapon. So this is crazy, man. This is Josh Williamson, who's been doing some really great stuff over at DC, doing some really great stuff over on the G.I. Joe corner of the Energon universe too. Josh Williamson is really just impressing me. I would say like 2 years ago, if you asked me like if I was a fan of Josh Williamson, I'd probably say, you know what I mean? Which is probably a hot take, but I was not a big fan of his Batman run. I was like, this is kind of okay. His Batman and Robin stuff was okay, you know. But definitely his Superman title has really kind of opened my eyes to how cool Josh Williamson can be, and his like love and appreciation of all things comic books definitely comes across the page. So yeah, Josh Williamson, you're impressing me, man, and you might get me to pull my first ever Iron Man title. I picked up that #1 from Spencer Ackerman, the last volume. No, I wasn't a big fan of it. Ended up dropping it. But yeah, this could be my first ever Iron Man title, dude. So wouldn't that be a crazy way to start the year, man? And yeah, dude, that'll do it for the comic book series that are starting in January that I think you guys should know about. Obviously, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're excited about reading in the month of January. And while you're down there, hype if you want. I guess hyping really helps out channels that are around this size. Like I guess they have a multiplying effect, and they really help out. So yeah, man, appreciate all the love and support.